Not only when we came up, even when we had Walk This Way, My Adidas, and Raising Hell, killing everything on the Raising Hell tour with Run-DMC, the BC Boys, LL Cool J, and Houdini.
And that's when you guys popped big.
That's when, but still, every press conference, DMC, what do you think you'll be in 2 years? Is hip-hop a fad? They never believed in it.
50 years later.
Well, I just got out of rehab and therapy because I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who was going to kill himself. But it didn't stop there. At 35, I found out that I was adopted. Then I found out I was a foster kid. Jam Master Jay gets shot and killed, and my father died. And they look at me and go, now, then I don't believe DMC just told me that.
Just laid that all on me.
They'll say these words, DMC, and they're only telling me because I'm DMC. Breakdancing is now in the Olympics. Next year, look
crazy. I remember one of my best friends from childhood came through here today, right?
Right.
And we were talking outside in the parking lot. I was running the parking lot.
Right.
We were talking about how we used to have my boombox, right? And we would put Raising Hell in there and shoot basketballs all day, right? And you actually introduced me to Aerosmith, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, and I became like a rock guy.
Things would have slowed, but it was because of what we did.
Yeah.
Things was able to. Yeah, see, 100% right.
Do you think social media and streaming has changed hip-hop?
Yeah, because it made it, all right, it made it easy. So when you make something easy, people get lazy. So if you get lazy, it takes away from the dynamics of creativity. And then when it's easy and everybody gets lazy, it becomes monotonous.
Yeah,
and then it becomes boring.
Like
then you
more
start
milk.
saying, I'm tired of this hip hop, but it's not going to go away.
Yeah,
it'll never go away. It takes people like a Melly Mel, a Rakim, a Run-DMC, a Public Enemy to come change it.
Yeah, you guys did that.
We did.
And welcome to the Apex Lifestyles Podcast. I'm your host, Bob G. DMD, and I'm here as always with my co-host,
Dennis V. How you doing today, Bob?
You know, I'm doing amazing. We have a really special guest here today.
Tremendous guest.
Unbelievable. The thunder rolled in today.
DMC came to town today. Darryl DMC McDaniels of Run-DMC. I'll tell you, I can go on and on about the accolades, what he has done in hip-hop. It's been a tremendous day. Darryl is the first of many gold record, platinum record, rap video on MTV, first non-athlete to sign the sneaker deal.
Unbelievable.
Great to have you, Darryl.
Thank
Welcome.
you. It's good to be here.
We have DMC. He's a, correct me if I'm wrong, you're top 50 artists of all time on Rolling Stone.
I never knew that, really.
Number 48.
Yeah, number 48.
Wow. That's huge. Okay, wow.
Fantastic. So you made your way all the way up to Massachusetts.
Yes.
You got some stuff going on here. We had a really cool event
here. I spoke at a school.
Yeah.
Yes. What was the name of the
Worcester
school?
Alternative.
Yes. Spoke there this morning.
Tremendous message today. Absolutely tremendous message. Students appreciated you. Darryl came in, spoke to students that have some struggles in life, obstacles, had a great message, and basically
and they were incredible too. Big shout out to you students. You know who you are.
Fantastic.
You're down with the king.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but it was really good.
Fantastic.
And we was here doing a cookie pop-up shop.
Yeah, do we have some cookies right here? We got to put them on the screen.
Yeah, we got more cookies, yeah. Everybody out there listening, we have cookies because cookies make people smile.
They do.
Just like the music.
Isn't it amazing? We did a pop-up shop at a dental office.
Yes,
and then we moved right into the studio in a dental office.
And to do a podcast.
It's fantastic. We had a lot of people.
But that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's right. So here we go. We have DMC Cookies.
Darryl Makes Cookies. That's what DMC stands for. Also,
other than dominating.
D's for doing it all of the time. M's for the rhymes that are all mine. C's for cool as can be. I wear my contacts because it starts with a C, so I can see. But I still wear my glasses so I can see. But Darryl also makes comic books.
That's right.
Because before music, before hip-hop came over the bridge, to Queens. I think it was like 1976 when I first heard hip hop as a kid. Before late 60s and early 70s rock radio, all I did was read, collect, and draw comic books. And I was a huge Marvel comic book lover because Stan Lee, he was brilliant. Rest in peace to the genius, Stan Lee. He put the superheroes in New York City. So
That's
it was
right.
really
Not
real
Gotham.
to me.
It was not Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham and Metropolis was trying to be New York, and DC was cool. I loved to draw and read The Flash, Green Lantern. But Stan Lee, he put the superheroes in New York. So every time I opened up a Marvel comic book, and this was all the way up until I was like maybe 12 years old before I was able to leave the block. Every time I opened up Marvel comic books, I got a lesson about the city I lived in without having to leave my stoop. I learned about the Lower East Side. I learned about Harlem. I learned about Manhattan. And of course, with Daredevil, I learned about Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
So it was Marvel comic books was the setup. Then rock radio and folk rock.
Hey, did you ever meet Stan Lee?
3 times.
Fantastic.
Told him he created a monster. And he knew who Run-DMC was, of course.
Yeah,
he was
of course.
like, yo, you guys are super badass.
For sure.
Was his words.
He changed the world, man.
Yep, just like Spider-Man.
That's right. Peter
Just
Parker.
like Iron Man. So
Yeah.
there was a lot that I could relate to with them. Then I started hearing Bob Dylan, Janis Joplin, Crosby, Stills, Young and Nash, Neil Young, Harry Chapin, what's the other guy? Jim Croce, and of course Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and Queen, Elton John and all that. And then 70s hip hop. So all of that, the day Run came and said, yo, you got some good rhymes, I'm putting you in my group. I was prepared. And that's what I was telling them. That's what I tell a lot of kids. Don't be shy of the thing that you like. Because the very thing that everybody think isn't cool, that's the bag in the $1 million idea.
Yeah, no
And they
shit.
start listening. Like, what do you mean, really? Like, all the tech, all pop culture, all the cool stuff was invented by people who had an idea. And they just figured a way a way to make it happen and put it out.
Yeah, so you were mentioning, though, it's the 76, you first heard hip-hop, you know.
Yep.
Dennis and I were down in Soho this past weekend, and we met some really cool people.
Yep.
And it was...
the real pioneers, young man.
We did. We met Melly Mel.
Yep.
Yeah,
And Grandmaster Cass.
Creator and inventor. See, Run-DMC is the pioneers of recorded hip-hop in the music industry. We're not the creator. And people say, we know hip-hop was created, but y'all created. They only say that from the success that we had in the music business. But the true pioneers is everybody before Rapper's Delight. Before recorded rap, it's everybody. Melly Mel made the message, but before that, before he got on Sugar Hill Records, he was doing this.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Cass, Funky 4+1. Sha-Rock was the first female in hip-hop rapping amongst the dudes. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Nicki Minaj and Missy Elliott, but they never mentioned Sha-Rock, who was doing it even before we got on vinyl. So all those people that you met was like meeting Robert Johnson.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
I was there. I was having a great time, right? I was the cameraman. He was like Ryan Seacrest, you know, interviewing
Yeah,
everybody.
because he knows them all.
Right?
He knows of them all.
And as
he
I'm
knows
doing the
them all.
write-up for the video, I'm like, man, I met that guy.
Yeah,
And I met
it's
that
crazy,
guy, too. It's
yeah.
crazy. It's amazing.
Like, these are the people that invented a whole culture.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Unbelievable.
And, truth be told, they made some good records. If you go back and listen to the Treacherous 3, Rock the body, rock the body, rock. Treacherous 3 was been doing this. They had a song called The New Rap Language, where they were rapping fast. Super duper party pooper men with all the super duper disco breaking water taking men and men never make mistaken. Kumo D, as you can see, I rock the world society, and at the end you will agree, no Marty. Like, they were killing, like, the innovation of lyrics and sounds and stuff that they were doing. It gets overlooked because once hip hop got a chance to participate in the recording industry, everybody's success is determined by how many records they sold.
Right.
But it's not about how many records you sold. It's about how good you were when you were doing the thing you were doing. So I got to give all of them props, because before Eminem, before Nicki, before Run-DMC, before all of us, it was Kaz, Mel, and Mo, and the Treacherous 3, and Sequence, and all of these boys and girls creating an art form that now turned into this billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
It was interesting because when you and I did a podcast a few years ago, I mentioned, I said, I made a mistake. And DMC corrected me pretty quickly. I said, how does it feel to be one of the founding fathers?
Right.
And Kaz, Grand Wizard Theodore.
Grand Wizard Theodore with the cuts galore.
Like Melly Mo, they checked. They were
Right.
laughing. He checked you, huh?
For
He's
sure.
like, yeah, which
Because they're the
such-
ones that founded and created. We took the torch and passed it on.
And you actually set it on a logarithmic growth.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
we were very instrumental in the popularity, rise, and success of the culture. And from day one, every time we saw them, we let them know, no, you're the reasons why I can do with. And the same way I'm talking about them is the same way Jay-Z and Eminem and LL talk about us.
You, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's the beautiful thing. Like, when you look at this generation of hip hoppers now, they don't even know who Rakim is. And then when they hear about it, they go, he's old. That's like Keith Richards and Joe Perry from Aerosmith saying they don't care about B.B. King, Howlin' Wolf, and Robert Johnson. But you can sit down with David Grohl and talk forever about everybody before him.
Yep.
Because he holds them at such a high, reservoir. He places them on those pillars because they ain't pillars that used to be. They're pillars eternally. But for me, it's like everybody talks about records the same way they talk about Run-DMC records and Tupac records and Biggie records. Is the same way I talk about Theodore and Kaz and Mel before they were making records on the live performances.
Yeah, on the tapes.
In the tapes.
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Is there a message that any of them gave you as you were starting to make your way through the industry that you remember today that just really sticks with you?
Well, yeah, one of the things that Kumo D said, never change who you are to please the masses.
Wow.
You mean just do what you do and don't worry about what people say.
That's crazy.
And I'll never forget that.
That's crazy. That's
he
great
was like,
advice.
don't change, who you are. I mean, you could, disco's popular. Let me make a disco song. I mean,
You know who
think
did
about
that?
it.
Kiss did that.
Kiss did it. Queen
did it, yeah.
did it, and Rolling Stones made Miss You.
Yeah.
Because they all wanted to get in Studio 54. See, they had different intention. It was like Studio 50, and these are the biggest rock stars on the planet. And you can ask the writers, everybody know, they made these records because disco wasn't bad. Disco, before people said disco sucks, you had Donna Summer, the Bee Gees, all that disco music was great. It was great music and great singing. What had happened once people got in Studio 54, they saw all the sex and drugs and that lifestyle. And then it was, disco sucks. We don't like what they're doing in there. But the music and dance was beautiful. But see, America's funny. They was loving all of these people, but then once they saw the lifestyle that was going on, they shunned it. But now when you look at the music industry, the very things that people didn't want on the forefront, so sex, disrespect, ignorance, profanity, all of that is now being celebrated. So
it's funny, right? It's
I see
complete
that.
flip. Yeah,
It's
complete
crazy.
flip. Yeah, for sure.
So that's what made hip hop so good. Because when everybody thought because of Studio 54, they thought New York City was great. It's heaven. Because you got to remember, Hollywood was leaving Hollywood to come to New York. All the celebrities, all the CEOs, all the influential sports people, and all the famous people was coming to party at the New York City clubs. And people's perception was, yo, New York is great. It took the young boys and girls, Grandmaster Flash, Furious 5, and all of them to say, oh, it's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going.
Yeah.
It was like, and we wasn't just talking about us. We was talking about what we saw our mothers and fathers going through. Because even though hip-hop was very successful, because it was young people with a mature attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
when you listen to all those early records, you know, and people in our generation, they say this, and I always check them too. I must be getting old because nope, stop, don't put yourself in there. It's not because you old that you don't like the music of the day. It's because when you was the age of the generation of these people, we had very high self-esteem of who we were. We wanted to be responsible. We were the kids that was, all right, I got to get a permit to drive the car, and I got to have an adult. But we were patient enough to know when you get your real license, you don't need an adult in the car now. We were the kids that knew we had responsibilities and we wanted them. But now, because the elders in our communities are just as, like Chuck D always talks about this, juvenile in their existence as the younger people. The younger people don't got older people to look up to. When I was 12 years old, my 16 and 18-year-old friends, I looked up to them. And they knew when they were, Darryl's in the room, don't. But when I was 16, now you could come participate. So when I turned 18, 21 and 25 was like, you can't come in the basement yet. But when you're 18, now you can come down here. Now the problem is the young people are looking, I'm not talking about kids 6 to 18. They're looking at 18 to 32 going, this guy's a fool. I ain't got to listen to them. So, and they right. So they're doing whatever they need to do. For us, we listen to the elders. Oh, okay, that's it. So in our music, we would put that information and communicate it among ourselves. So if I'm 18 and you're hearing my music talking about everything that everybody 18 to 100 talk about, and you're 9 and I'm at 18 giving it to you, when you get 18, you highly evolve. So it's not a thing that us older people don't like the music. No, we don't like the content of it because even at our older age, we want better. Yeah. We're looking at, the negative. Now, then again, you had Two Live Crew. We had our sex records. We had our gangster records and this and that. But we didn't have everybody in the culture making that up. So the kids are now looking at these records. The kids are now looking at hip-hop music going, oh, I don't have to be creative like Tribe Called Quest. I don't have to be positive like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I don't have to be Rakim and so on and so on.
Yeah, you know who was talking about the positivity was the Cold Crush Brothers.
Yeah,
he was talking about that.
And we spoke today about Method Man. Didn't swear in his
Never cursed on his records, and he did it intentionally.
Yeah,
because he says,
you have to get more.
I got to think, and it makes me better.
That's right. You
know what I'm saying?
Be a little bit more.
But the kids don't know being positive is more gangster than being negative.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? When you listen to the record by the Ghetto Boys, Mom Playing Tricks on Me, they wasn't glorifying their lifestyle. They said, yo, my mom is playing tricks on me. I don't want to be shooting at the ladies in Popeyes. Scarface says, I'm selling drugs, but he was like, at night I can't sleep. Lord, show me another way. So
that's actually really strong, right? I mean,
no, it's probably, and we know that from all our generations. The drug dealers don't want to be drug dealers. The gangsters didn't want to end from, I would say, from the 1800s. No, let me take it back further. From the 1700s to maybe like I don't know, the 2015, it used to be the gangsters and the drug dealers and the thugs, if you had a chance, yo, get off the corner, young boy, young girl, you going places. Now all our music is says, forget doing the right thing and getting your money legit. Come with me and let's mess our lives. All the music is saying that.
Yeah.
It's okay to take drugs. We rhyme. And Kaz will tell you, we rhymed about drugs, but the very next record or rhyme was about not having to do it.
Yeah.
But now everything is, it's a self-esteem thing because the kids is thinking, if I don't act negative, if I don't act like a fool, not only like the other young kids, but look at the adults. Look how when you look at TV and you look in social media and you look in the media, how grown men and women are fighting each other, acting like kids. So they're just learning from what they see.
What they see,
What
yeah,
they
for
see.
sure. Yeah.
That's the whole problem.
Yeah.
So when you came up, hip hop was only around 10 years. And I
Yep,
don't know if you
73 to 83.
did you ever hear that it may have been a fad or it was going to be gone?
Yes.
Like disco?
Oh, not only when we came up, even when we had Walk This Way, My Adidas, and Raising Hell,
that's crazy.
killing everything on the Raising Hell tour with Run-DMC, the BC Boys, LL Cool J, and Houdini.
And that's when you guys popped big.
That's when, that's
big,
but
yeah.
still, every press conference, DMC, what do you think you'll be in 2 years? Is hip hop a fad?
Yeah.
They never believed in it.
50 years later.
50 years later,
Yeah,
it's
imagine.
here surviving and strong. And what's also crazy is the hip hop that we love over here, they don't love that in Paris. They don't love that in Europe. They love the struggle, the economic, rebellious, revolutionary struggle. Over there, they love the PEs and they love the Big Daddy Kanes and the Rakim. They love positive content displayed violently, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They
for
do.
sure.
Because, you know, the perception is here is we got it easy, but as the school I went to today,
Nah,
it ain't easy.
That's a really, really unbelievable work you guys do over there.
Amazing. No, it's amazing.
You know what it is, though,
It's
is
amazing.
what I like today is you gave the same message to the students today, and you taught. First of all, you connected with them. You talked about them believing in themselves,
Right.
And a lot of it sometimes is in society, nobody's telling kids no anymore,
Yeah.
and they're running rogue. And I don't know, the way I grew up,
No, you got told you can't do that.
and you didn't ask again.
Yeah. But the beautiful thing is you tell them no, but show them the alternatives.
Yeah.
These kids don't got alternatives now. And then when they do pursue something and they fail, they give up. And I had to tell them today, every great person that ever did something failed and went through stuff.
That's
They
true.
was looking at me like, huh?
You did.
They
too.
thinking it's
you wrote a whole
overnight
book about
success.
it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. Even Run-DMC, we went to 50 record companies and got told no.
Yeah.
And then we went, oh, let's go to one more. We ended up on Profile Records.
Yeah.
We could have gave up. There would be no Def
Can you
Jam or
imagine?
nothing.
Yeah,
We
you
could have said,
imagine?
nope.
The world wouldn't have
It would
changed.
have happened. Right, exactly.
Wouldn't have changed, right?
Things would have slowed, but it was because of what we did.
Yeah.
Things was able to. Yeah, see, 100% right.
Do you think social media and streaming has changed hip hop?
Yeah, because it made it, all right, it made it easy. So when you make something easy, people get lazy. So if you get lazy, it takes away from the dynamics of creativity. And then when it's easy and everybody gets lazy, it becomes monotonous.
Yeah.
And then it
like-
becomes boring.
like-
then
like
you
more
start
milk.
saying, I'm
Yeah.
tired of this
Yeah.
hip hop, but it's not going to go away.
Yeah.
It'll never go away. It takes people like a Melly Mel, a Rakim, a Run-DMC, a Public Enemy to come change it.
Yeah. You guys did
Take
that.
what's we did. If you listen to all the music before Run-DMC came out, every record was a message record. Life in the Ghetto. Flash and them made the message 1, message 2, 3. Every record was, it's a struggle, I'm in the ghetto, this and that. Now, I'm coming from Queens, it was a struggle, but I also saw kids going to school. I also saw kids reading comic books. I also saw kids playing hopscotch. And everybody wasn't in the gang and shooting and selling drugs. So me being in the street, it was like, why ain't they rhyming about this? Because the perception is, the streets, everything about the streets ain't negative. In the same streets where it is pushers, pimps, prostitutes, and heroin, kids was playing skelly, hopscotch, stickball. So, if I was to come away now, I would look at it and say, what these kids ain't doing. No, everybody's rhyming about taking lean and shooting and gang banging. Everybody's talking about the cars and the planes and the material stuff that they don't have. Nobody's rhyming about the video games they play. So just like I came along and made a... Think about how many people... If somebody came along and said, I'm like the art of war, what you never saw, getting a high score... You'd sell 20
Listen,
million
we just got a little record going here right now.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Right. I'll give you the Pro Tools later.
So what did Run-DMC do? We rhymed about our Adidas. Look what happened. We got sneaker deals out of it.
It's crazy, right?
So the kids now, everybody's trying to rhyme like Young Thug Drake. Do what they ain't doing and watch what. That's what I was telling them today.
Everybody's unique.
Yeah, everybody's unique.
And go with it.
And so, exactly.
It took me to be 51 years old to figure that out.
Yeah. But you are already unique. But what other thing people don't know, hip-hop didn't just create rappers. It created journalists and designers and writers and filmmakers and artists. See, they don't talk about that. Just like you said, most of the kids in the school, everybody want to be a rapper, which is cool. But what about being a philosopher or novelist? Yep. And when they find out the money that you can make from creating Harry Potter.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
No rappers is touching J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, of course.
She was homeless in a car. I'm going to create this character and it's going to be magic. $1 billion later.
Yeah.
But see, hip-hop would do that. Run-DMC, LL, Houdini, we inspired people to go... I can't rap and I can't produce a beat, but I'm going to go be a store owner. And I'm going to go be a book writer like Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Hip-hop all the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Made it so She's Gotta Have It, his first black and white low-budget movie. Look what he's doing in Hollywood.
Right.
So that was our motivation in hip-hop. Like I told the kids today, there's graffiti artists whose artwork is in Soho in the Village inside the galleries. Breakdancing is now in the Olympics. Next year, look
crazy. I remember one of my best friends from childhood came through here today, right?
Right.
And we were talking outside in the parking lot. I was running the parking lot.
Right.
We were talking about how we used to have my boombox, right? And we would put Raising Hell in there and shoot basketballs all day, right? And you actually introduced me to Aerosmith, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, and I became like a rock guy.
You didn't know they was right here next door to you?
I did.
But you wasn't checking for them.
I wasn't checking for them. My parents were big disco people, so I listened.
Right.
I listened to disco and Chicago,
and Chicago and Motown and all of that. But we came with the.
Right.
And
I saw it on MTV. I said, "What is that?"
See, that's another problem. That's another problem. We need to sue MTV for false advertising. It's not music television no more. It's RTV.
It's not at all. It's too bad. Remember,
and I tell people I'm starting a music channel called DMC TV. You know what my tagline is? And everybody said it's brilliant. DMC TV, what MTV used to be.
Oh.
Because... Yeah. You would turn on MTV and you would see Run-DMC and Aerosmith, or you would see Madonna, or you would see Billy Ocean, or you would see David Bowie. It was so diverse. You was always, every week you was introduced to something new. Once that got not available to the people, the music gets lazy and dumbs down, and everybody's doing the same thing. And now everybody's competing for the same dollar.
It's almost like reality TV stepped in, real world came in.
Yeah, and it's not even real.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We always thought it was real. It's all scripted.
Yeah.
We didn't have cable, and my neighborhood didn't have it. And we used to go to my grandmother's house and lock ourselves in a room and watch MTV. For exactly what you're 100%. Saying. The new songs. And then...
to see what was going on in other states.
Yeah.
To see what... And then you notice, they just like me. Punk rock, hip-hop, metal, R&B, funk, we all the same. Just different expressions.
I actually saw a picture of you on social with Lizzie Hale, Scotty Ian. Who else was there? Who was... You're all at dinner.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Scotty and Lady K and Tom Morello.
Yeah, Tom
and you know what we were sitting there talking about?
No.
Judas Priest.
No kidding. Look at that. And
That's
then you wear
a
Motorhead
video,
shirts all the
and
time.
I'm wearing Lemmy for life.
Yeah, right.
But it's a documentary Tom Morello is doing about Judas Priest, one of his favorite bands.
Nice.
So he had and he said, DMC, you got to be there. And the reason why I said, yo, I was this little kid in the metal and Judas Priest and all of this stuff. And then here comes a rap group screaming at the top of their lungs, I'm the king of rock.
Yeah.
He was like, yes.
Yeah.
He said, but see, Run-DMC and the Beastie Boys were similar. They're punk, but we're hip-hop. It's the same feelings, but different expression.
Yeah, for sure. And I had both.
And that's what the kids need to understand right now. There are Naughty by Natures and De La Souls and Tribe Called Quest and Rakims that exist. But that kid now is trying to impress his friends by being like Young Thug or being like Drake. It's like crazy. Kids come up to me with their demos or, well, it ain't physical CDs no more.
Yeah.
Here, go to my SoundCloud. And it sounds just like Drake. I always tell them, yo, you can be inspired by Drake and Lil Wayne, but can you put the fear of God in them and make them not want to go near the mic? That's what Run-DMC did to everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody was great, but we had to figure it out. Even in the 90s when hip-hop changed, Pete Rock comes along and says, yo, I got this new sound for you. Something that's still hip-hop, new sound, and all D got to yell is, down with the king! And everybody bowed. I didn't have to change her. Well, I'm taking the tours, wrecking the land. Pete Rock said, D, you ain't got to rhyme like Jay-Z, Eminem, or none of these people. I want that DMC stuff.
Yeah.
Really? All right, turn the mic on. I gave that with the new sound. And everybody from Limp Bizkit to Cypress Hill to Rage Against the Machine to Pac and Biggie said, okay, we get the message.
Yeah.
But it was just us. It was courageous for us being ourselves.
It's like you came out firing with that song.
Taking the tours and wrecking the land. I keep it hard. I keep doing what Mel and them did for me because it's dope, man. These are the roughest, toughest words I ever wrote. And it's the one time I cursed, third time I cursed, not meant for a H, like a slow jam. Because I was mad at hip-hop. I was mad at hip-hop because we was letting R&B take our music and have singers sing over it. Because hip-hop, they didn't want hip-hop, but it was taking all our beats and having it sing over it. Because it used to be Keith Sweat, Gerald LeBert, we were separate.
Yeah.
So they took our music and they started singing over it. So that made people think hip-hop was going to die and be a fad. I keep it hardcore because it's dope, man. Not the dope, man. Because it's dope. I'm the dope, man. Yeah. These are the roughest turds taking it to a regular man. Only G.O.D. could be a king to me. Right, right. And if the G.O.D. be in me, then a king, I'll be lyric of the year. Everybody was like, yo, D, that's so dope.
Do you think that's when it started to go mainstream? Because that was the thing that I remember growing up is you can't like them, they're going mainstream.
The selling, right?
Yeah. But they said that for a minute, but then they saw how good the work was. Because think about it. Dear Mama, Naughty by Nature, OPP, huge commercial record. It was a record about sex that didn't curse. It didn't say the F word. It didn't say suck anything, but it was about sex. So they wanted to say that, but then they saw that through our creative presentation, we didn't lose our coolness or edge. They was like, yo, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it became, of course, hip-hop became pop, but once it became so popular, somebody along the way said, yo, we got to throw a wrench in it. So don't sign nothing positive, creative. Only sign the profane, shoot, kill, destroy records so we can prevent the greatness from continuing. So that's basically what happened. All hip-hop needs right now is a Melly Mel or Run-DMC or rock. That's all it needs right now, but none of the artists and there's no artist development and stuff like that. None of the executives are courageous enough to spend a budget pumping. People are so starving for something positive.
Yeah, I agree.
If you have to spend $10 million to promote, that's the way it is. You got to spend $10 million to do it, because the 10 million people that didn't buy the gangster record or the drill rap now wants to buy this, but it's not available.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the podcast. We want all this to be positive.
This is hip hop.
Yeah, we want to make sure that like people are living a life that they want. And
see, you come from the hip hop, rock and roll, punk expression. But now we can use what's available to us. It's not just the music anymore. It's the music, which we'll never forget, but it's podcasts, TV shows, cartoon. We got to take pop culture now and tell the stories that people want to hear, and need to hear,
instead of shoving it down their throat, whatever record company wants.
That's why I did that book.
That book.
Darryl, it's very interesting. I think it's 3 years ago. One of my colleagues said, "I've never been into hip hop, but I got a book in the mail. I read it. Is there a chance that we can get him to speak at Anna Maria College?" I never read the book. I remember you at the Pinnacle. I never knew the story.
Right.
And we talk all the time about hitting your apex. And Run-DMC was always that. You guys were just bust through ceilings, knock down doors.
Crash through walls, come through floors, bust through ceilings, and knock down doors.
Then, and I think to do something like this, you have to show your vulnerability,
right?
Which you did. And I've been an educator for 30 years, and I read this book with my students. Guys, you got to check it out. 10 Ways Not to Commit Suicide.
Because you don't have to do it. Why? Because hip-hop is about keeping it real.
Yeah.
So somebody asks you, how's it going, D? I'm going to be truthful and say, it's not going so well. But that honesty will make the person say, yo, the mighty king of rock, who walked this way in his Adidas to let the world know how tricky life could be, just said that he has problems.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's about keeping it real. We walk past people every day, yo, are you okay? Yeah, and they shouldn't. It's a powerful thing when you show your vulnerability, because then your power will come to you. It never left, but it will reveal itself again.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Everybody has the power, but every superhero
has a kryptonite.
Yes.
Has a weakness,
Every superhero comes from a traumatic situation.
Yeah.
Peter Parker was deaf and murdered. Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Superman's world was destroyed.
Was destroyed completely, right? Yeah.
Think about it. Tony Stark's had a drinking problem. Do your work. Stan Lee made a whole issue of it.
Batman
saw his parents get murdered in front of him.
Yeah.
That's why when I speak at these Comic-Cons, all of these people going through traumatic situations, they look at Luke Skywalker. His father's trying to kill him.
True.
Think about it.
It's true.
So people are attracted to all of this pop culture stuff, whatever it is. There's some piece of you in there. So for me, it was like, I noticed this. Yo, DMC, we always see Run on Run's house. Where you been at? We see Russell. We see Kamara. Where you been at? And I go, oh, you want to ask me where I'm at? Well, I just got out of rehab and therapy because I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical, spiritual wreck who was going to kill himself. But it didn't stop there. At 35, I found out that I was adopted. Then I found out I was a foster kid. Jam Master Jay gets shot and killed, and my father died. And they look at me and go, now, Dan, I don't believe DMC just told me that.
Just laid that all on me.
They'll say these words, DMC. And they're only telling me because I'm DMC.
Yeah.
Number one, because they think I'm cool. But number two, because I just revealed something so shocking. They'll do this. I've never told anybody this, D. Me too. So that means they've been walking around for 12, 13, 15. Holding it.
And you allowed it to release it, man. Think about that. That book is amazing read.
Right.
Amazing.
And I tell people, this kid asked me, he was meth and everything, rehab, falling over and over. So his mother brings him to Cleveland to hear me speak about my book at the Barnes and Nobles. She didn't have nowhere else to go. So she brings him, and he's sitting there the whole time like this. I don't care. I'm going to go get high, this and that. Life is worth. So when I finished doing a Q&A, he asked me, DMC, why should I stay alive? So I could have said, because I know he's a great metal person, because you have a talent. I ain't hearing it like this. I didn't win. Because not my story, your story could save a life.
Yeah, you're right.
My effed up story. Your story. Forget my story. My story's cool, this and that. Yeah, I could relate to a lot because I talked about it.
Yeah.
So now you know you ain't the only one. Your story could save a life. 6 months later, I'll go back to Cleveland. How's your son doing? He's doing fine. He's talking about his problems. He's helping other people. And now he's not doing his music to get a record deal. He realizes he don't need to get a record as long as he can wake up every day and play his music.
Yeah.
I'll go to the local fair. I'll go to the local shop. I'll play on guest records and stuff like that. He's realizing his life has an importance that is not to be validated by anybody else's.
That's right.
Power of connection, though. And that's something that every time that you speak, first of all, everybody's always looking at you. And today I think you caught somebody not looking. Then all of a sudden by the end he's making eye contact with you. Because you take time to connect with somebody. And you ever have somebody in life that you'll say, how you doing? And they're really not listening to you. You take the time to listen. You give feedback and you're connecting. And I think that's a big issue in life. People struggle sometimes when individuals do not connect them and get to know
for sure.
them. And
They
get
think
them to
they are
walk
the
through.
problem. No, you have a problem, but everybody does.
Yep.
But you're not the problem. That's why I was telling the kids, your situation doesn't define who you are. You do.
Mm-hmm.
Homelessness, whatever. That's not your problem. You have your inner problem, but you can change that. And don't be ashamed. If you remove guilt and shame, you remove the pain of the situation, which is causing the emotional pain.
Yeah.
Well, Darryl, we grew up in a time, 80s, where we weren't supposed to talk.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to talk about it.
To this day, you ain't supposed to do that. You ain't supposed to talk about it.
Yeah.
But now we realize, whoa, if you talk about it, whoa, you heal.
Yeah, you do. You do.
You talk about it, you heal.
So it's a really great message that you put out there that it's okay.
Exactly.
And it's not going to get better if you don't do anything about it.
That's the whole other thing. I would rather you live a whole, healthy, full life dealing with the problem than giving up and checking out now and missing your blessings.
Yeah. So
Because
true.
think Moses was a murderer. If you read the Bible, Moses killed somebody, and Moses had a speech impediment.
Yeah.
Jesus was, you're just a carpenter's son. But somebody said, regardless of your situation, there's greatness in you. Look what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell kids, really? Yes, yes, you are like Jesus and Moses, young man or girl. They go, wow, I never thought of. Moses and Jesus were foster kids, adopted kids. Think about it. Outcasts, thrown away, threatened by death and all that. The Pharaoh was a killer. The king, get all the babies and murder. Yo, it's crazy then.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But regardless of your situation, you have a purpose and destiny. So my thing was, when you listen to hip hop, or when you listen to rock, when you listen to, like Neil Young, there was a problem. There was a shooting at Kent University.
Yeah.
He woke up the very next day and wrote Ohio.
He did, yeah.
Marvin Gaye, who was just known for sex and love, he wrote What's Going On. Barry Gordy said, no, don't do it, it's going to ruin you. But he didn't got a standing ovation because now he's identifying and connecting with the audience, and letting them know I'm here with you.
And you and Sarah McLachlan wrote a song together.
Me and Sarah McLachlan redid Harry Chapin's Cats in the Cradle, which is a song about a father who didn't care about the son.
That's right.
So when you look at those are the things that gave me confidence. I was like, Harry was writing about this. Neil Young was writing about that. John Fogerty wrote Fortunate Son. Think about it. They were addressing.
I love that song, actually.
It's one of my favorites.
Man, listen to that song.
Yep.
It's amazing. It was Public Enemy before Public Enemy.
Yeah, right.
But the beautiful thing about them, they wasn't scared to speak about real life problems.
Yeah.
That's what made them superstars, not the money and not the fame.
They were keeping it real.
They were connecting with their audiences.
Right.
And they were good at what they did.
Yeah.
But it's the records, it was their discussions that made the people feel I'm not alone. I have somebody speaking for me. And that's what hip hop was in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, all right, I can continue to make the books, but how do I get people to see not the greatness in me, but in themselves? Oh, let me do a comic book. I was in the comic books 10 years ago. I started Darryl Makes Comics. And when you look at my comic book, it's just no different from, I'm the king of rock. You open the book up and the first thing you see is, I'm the king of rock. There's none higher. You know what I'm saying? I'm the devastating mic controller DMC. And it's me telling stories about me so you can see, oh, I'm like that, or I've been through that, and I can relate. Larry Hammer, who's one of my mentors on a comic book, he said, when you look at, he's the guy that switched up G.I. Joe from a soldier into Cobra and Snake Eyes to what it is today. Yeah. He said people love these things because it's not about the superpowers. It's about the relationship of the characters with each other and themselves. And I was like, wow, I didn't think about it like that.
It's powerful.
It is
powerful. That's crazy, right? Like, as much as these kids want to be rappers, they need to pick up the book about Famous Amos, who started his cookie cup.
Yeah.
They need to pick up the book about Colonel Sanders, was he
70-something years old when
he came off.
It's crazy.
Well, when he came off, came off.
Big time, yeah. Right.
So how much his last 15 years of his life was like a lifetime.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. And that's what I was telling these kids. I even told them, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to mess up. And if it doesn't work out, try something different. I was just fortunate because I was writing my rhymes because I was pretending to be Melly Mel and Kaz and Theodore. But me doing that every day from 12 years old to 18 years old, it was practice, it was rehearsal, so that when Run did put me in front of the mic, I was prepared. So these kids now is not putting the time in to develop the skill, maybe art, maybe dancing, maybe playing the violin, and maybe baking, and maybe cooking, whatever it is. They're so busy trying to get the quick money selling drugs. And I can understand the desire. Oh man, he got Jordans. I want some too. So instead of working patiently to get 12 pairs of Jordans, they lie, steal, kill, murder, stab to sell drugs to get the pair that doesn't benefit them nothing.
You know, on the back of our shirts, it says, do the work.
Do the work.
Do the work, right? That's what it is.
And the reward.
Well, I'm thinking, I played sports. You practice. You practiced your craft for those 6 years. So when the game was, when Run called you and said, it's your time.
I was prepared.
You were prepared. You were ready to play the game.
That's a perfect example. I say Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They were phenomenal because they put the craft first. Now, just like music is, there's players in the NBA now just getting the bag, which is cool because it's an opportunity. But they're getting these $1 million contracts, but none of them are great.
You know, a great, and I've mentioned one of our podcasts
football,
before.
Same thing with football.
Muse, the Kobe, when he would wake up at 4 and work out, he'd work out at 8, he'd do another workout. And they're like, over the course of your career, that's 20 years, I did those workouts 3 times a day, while my competitors are doing 1.
Yeah.
That's why I got better.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I was always even when we was Run-DMC, I was always writing rhymes. And Run would say, because Run would wait till it's time for the new album.
And you'd have
the first album came out, I'm writing more. King of Rock came out, I'm still writing. Raising Hell came out, I'm still writing. I was always writing because I love to do it.
Yeah.
So now when the time arises, I'm ready. So when Pete Rock came, y'all were big in the 80s. It's different now.
Yeah.
There's Cypress Hill and Tupac and Eminem and all that. But I want DMC. I want the guy from the 80s, but now. Oh, I got a brand new rhyme talking about I'm God. Oh, well, I want that one. From the mountain valley to the deep blue sea. The word is heard, is told by D. I don't sing, I bring much delight, like a star shining bright in the darkest night. If you are cold, I'll bring you heat, like I brought the whole world my funky beat. Mysterious and serious, I ain't no joke. Fire from the depths of hell, and you can smell the smoke. That's mean heavy metal stuff.
It is.
You know, a line, and I'm still giggling about it today. I love your answer when someone says, "Yeah, they're old. They're old."
I talked today, I was speaking at a high school, And the kids today was like, whoa, we ain't thinking about it like that. I was speaking in high school, and this kid yells out, yo, Run-DMC is okay, but you old school guys are over. I said, thank you. Huh? I said, thank you. You're telling my truth. Huh? What do you mean? I just came back over from London. I'm going over to Japan tomorrow. And you can ask my friend, next week we're going to be over in Germany. The whole gym was like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
That's true. My dad told me. You know what I'm saying? I said, don't think because you don't hear me on the radio or see me on MTV anymore, I'm not doing what it is that I was doing when I was 12 years old. But that blew his mind. You was over. Thank you.
Call it a microphone drop, right?
Yeah,
a mic drop moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. And it was like, huh? What? You know what I'm saying? And you know, I let them know when I told the kids today, I was an alcoholic, suicidal, metaphysical wreck who was thinking of killing himself. They were shocked.
Yeah.
But then I told them, if this ain't right, nothing ain't right. So what's one of the kids, I don't want to say his name, said, yo, I'm having problems at home and this and that. I said, those problems ain't yours. He just asked 50 questions about stuff he was reading. And what made me so excited about him, I said it, he couldn't believe somebody was talking about something that he was into. So remember I kept saying, no, I'm going to get to you. You got a lot of questions. And he had the best questions ever. Yeah. All I can say is he said, I'm 15 years old and I'm going to. I said, you are. He said, I'm 15 years old and I'm doing this. Well, what if you do if they keep going? Yeah. If it doesn't work out, take that and try something else.
Yeah, you keep doing it.
It's going to work.
Yeah, you figure out what doesn't work. And
like they were looking at me really weird when I said, if you took all of that attitude that you do all that negative stuff with, watch how successful you are. Remember they were looking at me like, what do you mean? I said, you're very good with that gun and doing all that gang stuff. Take that attitude and go create something, put it to something positive. Watch what happens. Yeah. And then, I got a little philosophical in the blink of an eye. And it kind of was like, because I asked him, name one gangster, name one gangster or gangbanger that is still alive, not in jail, or even if they're still alive, have anything to show for it. They couldn't. But the guy that went to school and studied electronics, look at what he's doing with Microsoft right now. And they started thinking, okay. And that's all the spark that we need in them.
First of all, we got to give this guy a shout out. There's a happy birthday coming up next week.
Yes. Oh, yes. May 31st, 1964. I'll be 60 years old.
You look amazing.
And I tell everybody, 50 years of hip-hop and I'm just getting started. A moment of silence for the dearly departed. The only fear I know is the one called Stratus. With Dan Lorenzo coming like Black Sabbath. My rain is coming down and it's feeling really heavy. You listen to the sound cause it's gonna break the levee. Listen to the riff. A heavenly gift. You know what it is when it goes like this. So for me, I tell them, after I got out of rehab, I realized, how am I going to survive now? I can't drink no more. The thing that sparked me was, remember when you was little and you would wake up, you didn't know what the day was going to bring, but you was just excited for whatever it would bring. And along the way, all of those days, you would fall. Remember when you would fall and scar your knee? Mm-hmm. And you get the blood, the red blood patch with dirt in it. Yep. Remember that? Yep. You cry, brush it off, and you go right back out there.
Sure did.
You sure did. You got it.
Remember when you were falling your bike? And you remember how hurt you got? You probably still got
scars. Are still sitting right there.
No, right. And it would be the blood, raw skin red with dirt in it. You go. As soon as that was over. That's what life is. Waking up like a kid every day. The only thing is when you get older, I told the kids, remember I said assignments don't end when you get older. Ask the adults, they get harder.
They do.
But what you do as a kid prepares you to be able to handle the responsibility as an adult. And if you can embrace that, you can get through anything. Taxes, bills, whatever obstacles and adversity is there. if you wake up tomorrow like a kid, everything necessary for you to succeed will come to you because you already have it.
That is pure gold, people. Listeners out there, that is pure gold right there. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Platinum.
That's platinum.
Platinum
That is.
diamond.
It is.
Unbelievable.
But everybody has that. Now, even Jay-Z, I was watching the interview, everybody has the greatness in them. But a lot of the problem is everybody's trying to do what somebody else is doing.
Yeah.
What's going to make you different and
Yes.
make you stand out?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing the same thing, the thing that separated Run-DMC forever was we did rock rap.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I have a question.
We did rock rap.
I have a burning question that I've wanted to know since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer, but you're gonna validate it right now. When you did Walk This Way, was that sampled, or did they come in and do the record? Did Joe and Steven come in and do the record?
The only
with you
thing
guys?
that wasn't live on that record was the drum machine. But everything else was live. Joe Perry came into New York and replayed everything.
I kind of knew that actually because I would
And
listen to both,
yeah.
and I
Yeah,
was like, that's
it
a
was
little
the
different.
only thing that was DMX drum machine.
Wow,
But everything else on there was live instruments.
man, to be a fly on the wall in that studio,
And that
was
session.
just like-
And the beautiful thing and why it was so beautiful, we did it with them.
yes,
Like even now, hip hop would be so great and so different right now. Even in the midst with AI and all the technological advancements. But imagine if Kendrick Lamar made a record with Chuck D.
right, crazy.
And the radio station and the labels got behind and paid for it to get played everywhere in the streams. It would be a game changer for our communities.
Well, the message.
Imagine if Drake and LL made a record.
Imagine if
Together.
DMC and Tom Morello made a record.
Well, speaking of what DMC is doing, next month, DMC and Sebastian Bach from
No!
Skid Row on vocals,
Are you kidding me?
That's
Mick
insane.
Marsh from Motley Crue
No!
on guitar, Duff McKagan from Guns N'
Oh
Roses
my
on
God.
bass,
You're blowing my
and
mind.
Travis Barker on drums.
Oh my.
That's
The song is called She Gets Me High. Also
Wow.
on the album, I got Sammy Hagar.
Oh my
No,
God.
my God.
I got Joan Jett. I got Chuck D, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and Ice-T on a song.
Wow.
So for me, it doesn't stop. It just, what's the next idea? Go do it.
There's not retirement in your vocabulary.
I won't stop rocking till I retire. Dun, dun. But that's what it's about. But the beautiful thing I love about what we're doing here is we're having dialogue and discussion.
Yeah.
And it's not about what Diddy did. It's not about anything negative. It's about people's lives. That's what the music was always about. John Fogerty also wrote, "Looking out my back door." Jim Croce, bad. Leroy Brown,
Yeah.
baddest man in the whole damn town. Badder than old King Kong, right?
Yeah.
The young man today, I believe his name was John. Was it John? But the young man today, if it wasn't John, he comes in. His first question to me is, what was your favorite Beatles record? I had to think Sgt. Pepper's was amazing. But then I said, oh no, it was Let It Be.
Yeah.
And the reason why was, I was a kid. When I heard Let It Be, Paul McCartney sings, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Like, I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Me too.
So as a little kid, I didn't know no better. I heard the Beatles, this famous group and this and that. But my connection to them was, the Virgin Mary comes to speak to Paul in his down, depressed hours. But then, as I got older and started reading books about him, I learned that his mother name was Mary. So that was a revelation. And I'm hearing this, Let It Be came out, 71? No, 68?
Was it that long? Was it
69? Maybe 69.
Yeah.
So Let It Be comes out. I'm in, what grade? I'm in
Kindergarten, first grade.
kindergarten, first grade, hearing this record. But it wasn't until I was a teenager and I'm reading this book and then I see an interview on MTV, which was very educational. Yeah, because I was saying it was the song. Oh, Paul McCartney's mother's name is Mary,
Yeah.
but I connected with that
because
line
of
because it's
Catholic school. Yeah, I did 11 years in Catholic school myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Through college.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure. So we all are so much related together as people besides our flesh and blood relationships. And that's the beautiful thing about art. When you go to an art gallery, you see people from all different walks of life, all over. When you go to sporting events, this and that. Like, I love to hear people talk about not the business of sports, which is great, but what sports do for people.
Yeah.
Yes, and it brings people together. I mean, not the mean, crazy Philly fans, and they're nice too.
They are crazy too.
But they're crazy.
Yeah.
They're tough.
But at the end of it, they're really tough.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you will see a Philly fan help somebody up often because
Yeah.
they're people too.
Yeah.
And I think this is what's good. People ask me, Hip Hop 50, where do we go from here? We got to have more podcast discussions. We got to have more film, TV shows, more movies, more books, more superheroes and anime and art stuff, telling all of our stories. And technology gives us that advantage.
It does, yeah.
You know, it makes it available to where.
Like, can you imagine we're on a small little soundstage here, right?
Yeah.
In a dental office, like that wasn't. You couldn't do that 10 years ago.
You would
Yeah.
have to go to the network
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Look at Ralph McDaniels, who created Video Music Box. He went to MTV and said,
Yeah.
I had this idea. They told him no. But then a year or two later, they had Yo MTV Raps.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not that'll never. And that's what I was telling the kids today. Oh, no, that'll never work. But now hip-hop's in the breakdancing, spinning on your head on a piece of cardboard on a concrete street is now a sport in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And I could tell when I was telling them, they was like, really? And I told them, you don't know that guy that goes, bam, who cooks? It was like Emerald.
Yeah.
I said, he flies on private jets, too. You should have seen their eyes.
Yeah.
All he does is cook.
Yeah.
And then it was funny. There was a toast in the room. I went and got a toaster. Emerald is taking the name of this. They're taking this Procter and Gamble. He's taking it off a simple toaster and sticking his name on it, and people are buying
That's
it.
right.
So I was telling him, your
You
name
give him
is
a
valuable.
You give him a lesson in branding.
No, it
You
did.
did.
But you said they started thinking.
Yeah.
The best one is George Foreman.
George
the grill,
Foreman.
the grill. Yeah, I have
And
one.
the young man, when I brought it up, the young man that I'm talking about said, oh, this is crazy. I'm reading the book about. No, I'm watching the movie.
Yeah.
So he's home watching the movie, and then he has somebody validate that. Can't buy that in a million years. but that's
Podcasts,
rid of it.
books, children's books. It makes you think. It creates conversations, and that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, based on this today, there's a lot to talk about, a lot of conversations.
Oh, for sure.
You're the best. You're the best interview.
Well, I'm gonna come back when I have to come back, cause when She Gets Me High drop,
Oh man.
and the
We're gonna do it,
album
we're
is
gonna do
called America.
Nice.
And it's DMC, not Run-DMC. It's DMC, Joan Jett, Jazzy Jeff, Ice-T, Sebastian Bach, this other band called Blacktop Mojo. And it's this diverse collection
So
of
cool,
different
man.
folks.
So cool.
Just
As soon as it
making
drops, I'm
music.
buying that
it's
thing.
crazy, and it's called America.
Yeah. As soon as it.
And they was like, why are you calling it America? Because
Well, that's what it is.
Is what America
That's
is.
what it is. When, can you say when it's dropping or no?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The single She Gets Me High is in June, and the album is going to drop first quarter, top of January, February
Fantastic.
2025.
That's my first buy in 25.
So I'll be
You know?
coming back to speak with y'all about
Oh yeah,
We'd
we'd love
love
to.
that.
We'd love to have you.
contents of that.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. We can dig deep into that, man.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know if you know. You know, I'm a dentist, right? But
But he told me your rock and roll knowledge is...
yeah, and I actually went to music school. And it was
Oh,
a musical
wow.
fountain.
Where'd you go to music school
I
at?
went to the University of Massachusetts at the Lowell campus, and they have a music
Wow,
department.
that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm a guitar player, and
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Well, we got to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
in the studio and do something. then.
Go rip it up. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Let's make it happen.
That'd be amazing. Dennis,
Wow.
unbelievable. I got nothing else to say, but thank you so much for coming,
No, thank you for having me.
Mr.
This is amazing because I'm in your dental office
Isn't it crazy?
doing a podcast.
Who would have thunk?
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
This is better than CNN. and MSNBC and Fox combined.
Oh my God!
For sure.
Thank
First of
you,
all,
thank you.
thank
Appreciate
you.
So, what?
Can I share what my day looked like with you, a day in Darryl?
What happened?
So, pick up Darryl. We go to speak at a school. Can I say what we did after that?
Yeah.
He filmed for the Charlie Moore show.
Yes,
At the
my
North
man,
Shore.
shout
Charlie
out
Moore
to
Outdoors.
Charlie Moore Outdoors, the
That's-
Mad Fisherman.
The Mad Fisherman.
That's going to be a must-see. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever laughed so hard in my life. And I met somebody that has your same energy level.
Right,
Then
yeah.
Then you hop in the car, maybe catch 5 minutes sleep. You meet with a couple hundred people, cookies, talk. You never dodge a picture.
Sign
anything.
everything, which
Now
is
you're
fun
on the
for me.
podcast, Darryl. You're an unbelievable. Listen.
No, this is
unbelievable
fun. I want
artist,
more people to do this.
Unbelievable human being, and the world needs more people like you. Thank you for
Oh
everything.
no, the world needs more people like us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you so
We're
much.
gonna put all the other podcasts out of business because lifestyles. That's why we was able to change. Before I go, talking about what we did with Adidas. My Adidas walk through concert doors. The beautiful thing about Adidas is when people see the 3 stripes, it means something. That, of course, it shows the greatness and abilities of Run-DMC, but that the sneaker represents something that we all are.
Yeah.
All of these people, young and old, coming in here. Can you sign my sneakers?
You guys single-handedly saved Adidas, too.
Say that again.
You guys single-handedly saved Adidas.
And yes, they
You
need
know?
to hear that. Even Stan Smith, big shout out to Stan
Yeah.
Smith. His Adidas are very revolutionary and relevant and influential. Even Stan Smith came to me and said, "Yo, I got a lifetime deal. Why you don't have one?"
Yeah.
I said, "I'm gonna go ask Adidas."
That's right. So did you meet with the German guys and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a relationship with them,
Yeah.
but we're trying to convince them this. We are married.
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever.
Your campaigns and different orders come and go, but forever, out of all your history, the most important thing to this company is not just what we did together.
Yeah. And I love the story. Was it you or Run who said, like, hold up your shoes or whatever it was?
At Madison Square Garden,
Yeah,
take it
unbelievable.
off, D.
Yeah.
Hold it up, and I hit the note. Hey, with the echo. Adidas walked the whole garden, 19,000. When I held up my sneaker, they held up theirs. So Adidas, that had never been seen or done before.
Yeah.
So Adidas runs back. It's true. There's this thing called hip hop. It's this group called Run-DMC. And we got our Adidas deal.
That's crazy.
So now I'm telling Adidas, in the midst of all this division in the world, all this negativity, people need something that represents diversity, togetherness, positivity. I said, we never caused your brand a problem. And what I don't like about it, Adidas, is they got their 75th anniversary coming up. When the 25th happened, they gave us a call. But then they won't mess with me for the rest of the year. But every time something comes up where they need to connect with the audience, who do they call?
They call you.
So that's worth more than any check they can write.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to tell them, we have a responsibility. When all the Black Lives Matter stuff was going on, when we had that run where all the Asian people were getting beat up, and all they had to do was take the Walk This Way scene with Run-DMC walking down the steps in the video.
Yep.
And I said, the best commercial is, they're telling me I got to go. The best commercial is Run-DMC and Adidas have been taking steps to bring.
Yeah.
Because it's already written in it. So from Adidas, and this is what I was telling the kids, I don't play no basketball and I got a sneaker deal like Jordan. If I was able to do that, my question to you, young people in that room, what it is that you want to do. And you should have seen the look. Some of them knew, but even the ones that didn't know, I'm going to find out.
Yeah. Thank you, Darryl.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
It's actually surreal to have you here. Listen to you as a kid in my driveway with my best friend shooting hoops, and I got to tell you, this one's going to go down in history for us. You know.
Well, DMC and the place to be. I know a lot about places to be, and the only place for you to ever be is right here, rocking and rolling, hipping and hopping, with Apex Styles. No. Rockin'. The only place for you to ever be is right here with Apex Lifestyles. Why? Because you'll literally make people smile.
You're right. Yeah,
with
you're
this
right.
and what you'll do. All right, I'm coming.
All right. Dennis, it's go time.